Hello and welcome to another episode of Coach's Commentary. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about a couple of attributes which can fetch success in the T20 format as well. Normally, those attributes are considered very critical for someone to succeed in red ball cricket. I'm talking about experience and also about the conventional mode of playing the game. Yes, we've seen quite a lot of experienced cricketers performing well in this edition of IPL. I did mention about a few young guns in one of my earlier episodes who caught our eye, but we've also been pleasantly surprised by the fact that experienced cricketers have come to the fore and they have delivered under extraordinary pressure. As we did see Ajinkya Rahane start this off with some outstanding performances for CSK. He is one who always batted in the conventional mold, and he is obviously adopted an attitude of being very positive within his framework of technique. What does that mean? It means that yes, you're not going to really look to do something different, but you're going to do things that are familiar to you, that your body is aware of, and that your body has been doing it for over a period of time, which means that his movements which are coordinated and which is set in his muscle memory are the ones that he's been doing on a consistent basis with a small tweak. Yes, all these lofted shots are an extension of the shape that you create when you play a defensive shot or when you play conventional shots. So that is something that has helped Ajinkya Rahane deliver for Chennai Super Kings in a format where people generally thought he was not really ideal as far as getting runs quickly is concerned. But what Rahane has done is that he's improvised upon his technique to such an extent that will fetch him success, and also used his experience to the maximum possible. Yes, experience is something nobody can go buy in a shop. He has brought his experience into play and he has integrated that with his cricketing acumen to perform as well as anybody else has done in this edition of the IPL. Now, is he the only guy who's done it? No, we've seen a couple of seamers do that as well. Mohammad Shami has always been one who has delivered for Team India, who's always impressed everybody with the wrist position that he gets when he releases the ball. That's the reason the ball seems around a lot. And the general criticism about him was that he was perhaps not one who was keen on training as hard as other fast bowlers did, but he adopted a different kind of training methodology. He would bowl and bowl and bowl, but he would be averse to running laps and laps around the ground. But of late, he's also realized the fact that you need to do training in a holistic manner so that you develop all round fitness. No wonder it's paid a lot of dividends for him. Yes, you would still perhaps think that Shami would tend to disagree, but no matter what he has to say about it, he has realized that there are certain things that he needs to do at certain stages of his career. But most importantly, what is really heartening is the manner in which he's been bowling and the way he has delivered in the T20 format. He's been exceptional. He was conceding a few runs in the early editions of the IPL, but in this particular episode of IPL, he's done extraordinarily well, not only in terms of picking up wickets, but also being economical as well. So everybody will be looking forward to him doing wonders in the WTC final at the Oval in the first week of June. Yes, I'm no different. I'll also be looking forward to him doing extraordinarily well and providing early breakthroughs for Team India in that all important test match at the Oval, which is coming up in the first week of June. The other thing that we saw was Ishant Sharma really delivering a fantastic over when it mattered. There's a lot of pressure, not too many runs to defend, but he's again, like Rahane, brought his experience to bear, and also he's delivered fantastically well for his side. Yes, the knuckleball that is bowled is one which will be replayed again and again, even in the years to come, and everybody will be watching it time and time again because it was not just about the release part of it, it was the situation that demanded that kind of a variation. He not only executed it, but generally, when you see the knuckleball being bowled, it does not deviate that much, it does not get that much of shape in there. But I don't know if Ishant Sharma can ever replicate the kind of knuckleball he bowled the other night. But what happened that night was that there was a bit of shape in there, and also it hit the right length. And after pitching, it deviated as well. If at all there was something that a ball could do when it is released from the bowler's hand, it happened on that particular night, on that particular occasion for Ishant Sharma. If you ask him as to how he did that, he might perhaps tell you different things at different times. But I'm not being critical here. I'm just saying that it was such a brilliant delivery that it's difficult to explain. Yes, there are moments in cricket where you would want to watch again and again. And that obviously is one particular moment that everybody who knows his cricket or who's a keen follower of the game would want to watch repeatedly. The other experienced campaigner who perhaps would be justified in saying has not been treated properly, has done well too. I'm talking about Riddhiman Saha. He was fantastic behind the stumps as usual, and he would be feeling that he's hard done by because he's not found a place in the squad for the WTC final. But that has not deterred him from doing what he does best, that of pouching things that come his way behind the stumps. And he, along with Shami, as always, have been a fantastic pair over the years for Bengal and also for India whenever they play together. But once again, they have formed a fantastic combination for their franchisee cricket as well, which makes life difficult for the batters. The batters know that there's one bowler in front of them who's going to generate a lot of seam movement, and they know the moment they nick. There's one way in the stumps who's definitely not going to miss on any opportunity that goes his way. So that means that on either side of the batter, they know there are absolute problems for them. So Riddhiman Saha was fantastic as usual, and it was heartening to see not him not losing his spirit or him not really getting frustrated at all when he is on the field of play. Yes, he might have issued a few statements in the past that might not have gone down well with a few people out of frustration, but that is not crept into his cricket, which is heartening to see. Again, an example of how experience is something that will always help you perform in key matches and also in the moments that are very important for the sides that they play for. Okay, we've spoken about a keeper, a couple of fast bowlers, and a batter. But there is one leg spinner who's made it a habit right through his career to churn out wickets for the sides that he plays for, be it Haryana, be it the sporadic appearances for India, or for the franchisee that he's been playing for over a long period of time. Yes, there's been a lot of criticism about him not really looking after himself in terms of fitness. He does not perhaps have the shape that people perceive or imagine that a sports person should have. But what matters is that he's still got his craft going. He can still deliver when he's got a ball in his hand. And that's the reason all the franchisees pick him up uh, because they know he's capable of delivering when he bowls. Talking about Amit Mishra, you must understand that yes, it's very difficult for somebody to have the motivation of doing things like they were doing when they were in the peak of their youth. But nonetheless, what has happened is Amit Mishra is obviously one who loves his bowling, who's been practicing hard, who bowls day in and day out, and ensures that he is in touch with the game and he's also honing his craft all the time. Because for one who's as experienced as he is, for one who's seen the rough and tumble of professional cricket, he is aware of the fact that leg spin, of all things, is a very difficult art. And it is important for him to keep practicing as hard as he did in his youth. That's the reason he's been able to sustain his craft and sustain his guile as well and perform well for his side. So we have to understand that in cricket, it's important to adapt to the newer formats, the demands of the shorter formats, but at the same time, it's important that you should not let go of your basics as well. That's the lesson that perhaps youngsters will learn from these experienced performers because they all of them have mastered the basics, they're stuck to the basics, and they've improved upon a few aspects. That was possible primarily due to the fact that they could build on the basics that almost became second nature when they played cricket. So that is a critical lesson here for everybody. Master your basics, after which you can always build on your basics according to the needs of the format that you regularly play in or according to the situation. And we've seen in the last 1 week, time and again, that there is no substitute for experience. And also, whenever a player is made it a point to really have strong basics, the game is not let him down, even when he's almost considered as one who's past his prime. So that's it from me in this episode. And as I always say, until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.